Let's ask you this. So, how
Yeah.
did you become a Jets fan, and what is it like to be a journalist covering your favorite team?
Yeah, that's a trip. So, a lot of people I feel like just have and there's nothing wrong with this, but very simple stories. My father was a season ticket holder for 45 years, and then this curse was passed down from one generation to another. My football family is incredibly eclectic. My father is a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. My mother is a Patriots fan. My brother's a Ravens fan. My other brother is a Saints fan. They're all over the place. So my father tried his damnedest to raise me America's team and the Cowboys. And, we'd be watching games, and inevitably the Cowboys would blow it somewhere in there. And he'd be in the fetal position on the floor saying, "Not again, damn it." Like, "Lord, take me." And I'm like, and I was watching it with him, and I was feeling nothing, zip and pip. I felt like I felt some level of bad for my father that he was on the ground wallowing, but I was like, me personally, I felt nothing. And I said, man, to be a fan, you have to have investment, the highs, the lows, all of it. Like, you got to feel the rush. You got to feel that, sweet excitement and sweet pain of losing. And so I didn't really vibe with the Cowboys, but I was an available free agent to be picked up by a team. I didn't know what the team was or what it, how it would be put together. And of all people, my grandfather, who again is a Giants fan, so again the eclectic nature continues. He used to call me as a young kid Dejet. And he said I was running around all over the place. And then he every once in a while would go, he'd do the jet chant. And I'm like, "Hey, Grandpa, what is that?" He's like, "Let me show you." Flips on the tube and a Jet game was on, and I was in love with the team ever since. So I have no one to blame, of course, except my grandfather for pushing me down this well, and no other part of my family outside of my fiance and child, who I'm now forcing the Jets all over. But besides them, I had no other Jet affiliation or reason to be associated with the New York Jets. So quite a journey to get here, but I've always loved football. My dad played college football, so it's all that football kind of together was just my grandpa played college football. Like, all of the football was just kind of there for me to just take. And when they unfortunately, we talked about my Hall of Fame high school football career, the statue again, which is still in production. When the NFL teams and the college football teams did not say, "Hey, we're looking for a 5'3" running back on a slanted hill," when those calls didn't come, I said, if I can't play football, I want to talk about football. And that's what launched me into the sports media career, and which goes full circle to answering it about, getting to cover a team that I love. I actually got to go to another Laker alum, Steve Levy. And while I was in school, Steve Levy came back a few times to share his gospel and his wisdom and insights. And I talked to him after, one of his one of the seminars, and I said, "Steve, can I talk to you real quick?" He's like, "Sure, Sonny. Yeah, I can talk to you." I'm like, "Hey, so you're like a Jets guy, like I'm a Jets guy, but here's my problem, Steve. Like, I want to let the world know, in the media world, they say you're not supposed to have any fandom. You're supposed to keep that in your closet. You just gotta, like, kind of call it how you see it. Got to be, unbiased. You can't say anything." But I said it's kind of hard because I love the Jets, and I don't want to hide that. That's kind of the passion and everything I'm all about. And Steve just kind of put his hand on my shoulder and said, "You got to ditch the Jets thing. Just do your job and enjoy it in the comfort of your own home," basically. And I just took his advice. He said, and I was like, "Thanks, Steve. Thanks for taking the time." And I just kind of went for a walk down by the Oswego River, and I was just thinking about what he said. And I just said, "You know what? Screw Steve Levy. I'm just, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
just gonna." Yeah, there you go. Screw Steve Levy. Screw the former voice of Monday Night Football. I said, "You know what? I'm gonna kind of do my own thing here, and I'm just gonna embrace the Jets. And people are either gonna love it or hate it, and it just is what it is. They're gonna realize this." Which I eventually got the radio nickname Boy Green from my radio partner Jim Lurch. And I just said, I'm just gonna embrace this Jet thing, and if people love it, great. If they hate it, great. But I'm not going to be hiding anything underneath the surface, like where they say, "Paul, you're a Jets guy." Yeah, I dabble. No, yes, I am a Jets guy, and I wear it on my sleeve, and that's really a lot of what it is. So, to be honest, when we get all the way full circle, this is a long answer to your question, but in terms of the media coverage of it, some people say you shouldn't be a fan of a team because you're left biased. Like you have all that stuff on your mind. I looked at it always as another way. No one is more in depth and close to a team than a fan. They should know the positives and negatives. They're right there seeing it. Ah, geez, look at this run defense. What's happening here? Or the great things that are happening on the team. The insights, I can't believe we haven't carved out time for the Irv Charles Special Teams MVP Jet Player of the Week on the podcast. But like insights that level, I would assume a normal Jets media member, who the hell would be paying attention to that? So I just feel like it's given me depth. It's giving
Mhm.
me understanding. It's given me like vested interest in a lot of ways where I'm able to write about the team, radio about the team, video shows about the team. I was able to do a television thing earlier with SNY and the New York Post earlier. They wanted me to come on to talk about the Jets because this Boy Green nickname thing and some of the juice that it's had out in the community. And I pinched myself. I'm like, holy friggin' crap. Look at this Jets thing. Yeah, suck it, Steve Levy. No, I didn't really say that. It ended up all working out. So it's been pretty cool.